And lately on my For You page, I see a bunch of people with Ice Spice profile pics.
The creepiest TikTok iceberg. This is by Funky. We watched his last video. I think it was the TikTok worst TikTok trends. That video was actually really good. So we're gonna watch this creepiest TikTok iceberg because motherfuckers do be creepy on TikTok. So all right, let's go ahead and get into it.
TikTok is a huge platform, and I'm sure there's a lot of creepy and disturbing content out there. But in regards to this iceberg, I'm gonna be honest, most of these entries aren't that scary. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about some ghost videos and some true crime, which can be terrifying. However, for the most part, it's stuff that young teenage girls watch while kicking their feet up on the bed. But then right at the end of the iceberg, we get some super graphic content that I can't even talk about on this platform. It literally goes from 0 to 1,000,000 in an instant.
Okay, layer 1. What y'all know about this?
Yeah, we're starting off really scary, guys, with rare usernames. I feel like this entry is pretty self-explanatory. Having a rare username on TikTok is a pretty big flex. Most of these rare usernames composed of 4-letter words, city names, cool phrases.
Where's my besties? All bend. I'm on crack. Oop. The clueless rat.
And just some regular old people names like John or Jimmy or something like that. I don't know. Sometimes users are able to get single-digit numbers as their usernames, which is pretty impressive. Apparently there's this TikTok black market for these usernames where
there's a TikTok black. If you are ever on the TikTok black market, know your life has reached it's reached a point of no return. You're not coming back from that.
People would try to sell these rare usernames for hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. And most of these usernames that are on sale are pretty hot trash. You can buy usernames like e-bikes, gaming pill, and G3FY. And these 4-character gibberish usernames.
You buying usernames, your life is like I said, your life is terrible.
Names are the most common ones you'd find on these black markets. Of course, if you're like a big influencer or celebrity, you would just have a pretty unique username, just like your regular legal name. That's pretty cool. Okay, but like, do you seriously want to pay $400 just to be called wedding venues? The hamster cult. Okay, when I just said
the hamster cult has to be the lamest congregation of lame ass niggas I have seen in a long time. Fuck hamster cult, nigga. Hate hamster cult.
In the beginning that this iceberg wasn't creepy, I lied, okay? So apparently it's this cult where they would recruit members through subliminal messages on certain TikToks that go viral. They would tell these new recruits to go to some place, and like once you're there, it won't be long until they transform you into those big ass hamsters from the Kia Soul commercials. This is such a stupid joke. I'm just talking about these people. This hamster Kia Soul commercials. This is such a stupid joke. I'm just talking about these.
You remember the Ghostface cult? Bro, there's an Ice Spikes cult. There's so many cults. Y'all remember the only cult that was kind of cool for like the first 3 days is that whole Vegeta and Goku cult when they got the SAB jacket. That was actually like a solid, because people were making that creative. Like you just had different characters or them in the jacket. That was cool for like 4 days until everybody started being weird with it. But these are ridiculous because people just copy paste the same thing like every single time, bro. Every single time. The green clothes, the blue clothes, like that was actually a solid like little joint that was going on. Bull Ride code was the best one. That code doesn't exist.
These people. This hamster cult is just a bunch of users showing off this profile pic, the hamster with the ceiling fan meme you've probably seen on Twitter or TikTok. And these hamster accounts would just flood other people's TikToks and would just post comments like,
"Hello hamsters, join the hamster cult. We don't mock God or burn Bibles. Join the hamsters now."
And even the thing about these cults is that they'll be like, "Oh, we don't do this and do this," and then motherfuckers just get the profile picture and do the exact same thing that they said they don't do. Always happens.
For people who did join these hamster cults, were bombarded on their accounts with a bunch of follow requests, DMs, got a bunch of weird people with hamster pictures all up on their inbox. And apparently this cult is beefing with another cult, the Lana Del Rey cult, who are just a bunch of...
I've seen that profile picture before, I think.
Lana fans hyping up her music and whatnot. And apparently this hate started after Lana Del Rey was caught up for not having enough diversity on her album cover for her album Chemtrails Over the Country Club. So gotta hit him with the rat attack! And this phenomenon is happening yet again. Lately on my For You page, I see a bunch of people with Ice Spice profile pics. One of the TikToks were playing her song or something. Of course, people are confused as hell on why there are so many Ice Spice profile pics commenting how like Ice Spice is the queen and you know she got that recoil and whatnot. So people on TikTok can put on their bios whatever they want. So many of them have been putting, oh don't report me please. And you know I guess they think it's an effective way to prevent anyone from reporting their stuff. I mean some of these accounts have these warnings because they do kind of have some stuff that you really shouldn't watch, you know, stuff I can't talk about on YouTube, you know. Anyways, most of these accounts have do not report because maybe they have some like edgy, you know, oh look at me, I'm so funny when I say like, you know, something racist or out of pocket or whatnot, and they're just like overall trolling
ass niggas.
It's like those YouTubers that put those copyright disclaimers in the beginning thinking that that would stave them off from any copyright troubles that they'll face in the future. India banning TikTok. There's nothing really creepy about this situation unless you're scared of international conflicts between two nations that could influence other nations to reconsider what social media platforms are being used. In June 2020, India announced that they would block 59 mobile apps from China, including TikTok.
Damn, TikTok not in India? That's tough.
And this block happened after India and China had a huge conflict over a border that sat between the two countries.
Damn, they had a beef in real life, so they like, yo, no more fucking apps. Take TikTok away, take all the maps away. We not playing that shit. Damn.
Apparently this led to construction activity appearing on both the Indian side and the Chinese side after they had a huge clash which led to 20 Indian casualties.
Oh, wow.
According to India's Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, they received many complaints about apps available on iOS and Android that have been accused of, quote, stealing and surreptitiously transmitting user data in an unauthorized manner to servers which have locations outside India. Now because of this ban, this allowed rivals of TikTok, which is most...
So if you use a VPN in GTA and then go to India on TikTok, like you go to a VPN, put your VPN to India and then log on to TikTok, will that shit even work?
The YouTube Shorts and Instagram to basically just take up all of TikTok India's turf, which is, you know, a little sad because Indian TikToks are funny, dude.
You know what? Maybe we should just follow the rules. You know what I'm saying? Let's just follow the rules. You know what I'm saying? I always abide by the rules of my government. So let's just follow by the rules. No diss to this dude though. Let me just follow the rules. You know what I'm saying? Oh no, never mind. Don't follow the rules. This fire right here. This fire. He's fire.
I'm sorry, I'll try harder.
Peak content, bro. Peak content. Yeah. Think he a fucking anime character. Oh shit.
So India's ban on TikTok really sparked conversations calling for other countries like the United States to ban the app as well. As far as the US goes, state governments have banned the use of TikTok on government devices, and the federal government recently banned it on all federally owned devices because they feared that the Chinese authorities could have access to sensitive information through TikTok. Some corporations have already banned TikTok on company-owned devices, so maybe the days of TikTok are numbered in the United States. Like just recently, as I'm recording this, the EU is already talking about banning the app pretty soon, so...
TikTok's almost packed up. Somebody make a new app, please.
Who knows?
And when the new app comes out, let me know about it so I can be the first Charlie D'Amelio on the app.
Better enjoy your TikToks and save all you can.
I put the new 4Gs on the G. I trap and
Hey, I just want to interrupt this video real quick because I want to introduce my Patreon. That's right.
You know I have to skip this, but shout out to his Patreon though.
Many people complain that these iceberg videos have like no f***ing idea what they're talking about, but honest to God, I have searched, looked up, went through the library, went through the deep bowels of the internet, and I could not find anything related to DaBaby or any raids on TikTok. The only thing I could find were news articles about
Why were people doing this again?
how DaBaby
It's because his head was shaped like a fucking car.
was raided by the police in February 2022 after he busted out a weapon during an altercation with his girlfriend's brother. It could be similar to this hamster cult. I've seen some users with DaBaby profile pics going, "Let's go." TikTok is known for having users who are desperate for views and attention, so they would do anything to get a couple of eyeballs looking through their profile. And of course, this led to people resorting to faking disabilities so that they can get some views and attention. One of the most
That's some very sad stuff.
common disorders that people tend to fake is Tourette's syndrome. I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea why. I guess some people think that having these little tics make you all so cute. Ooh, woo, look at little quirky. I'm so quirky. I tick every 3 seconds. However, many people who actually have Tourette's have talked about how their tics negatively affect their lives, but you know TikTokers don't give a f about that. And the biggest example of someone faking Tourette's syndrome on TikTok for internet clout is the user Ticks and Roses. If you
I think I heard about them.
don't know, Ticks and Roses was a TikTok account owned by Emerald Rose, who claims to have had Tourette's since they were 6 years old. Most of their TikTok showcase how Tourette's syndrome affects their lives, along with the occasional promotion to their yarn business. Now, as their TikTok began to rise in popularity, many began to suspect that her tics
We saw in
were
the tub video.
probably fake.
Send me to Canada!
See, when you really, ooh, that looked crazy, by the way. When you really know that this is fake and you look back, you're just like, damn, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Why would you fake that?
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! 5 little monkeys jumping.
Excuse me? Fuck you say? I don't like. We not doing that.
On the bed. One fell down. He's dead now. Bye-bye! Hickory dickory dock.
Why was she doing this though? What'd she gain out of this?
The mouse ran up the clock and stole his Talk a little bit about. Wow!
Jesus Christ, this is hard to watch.
Wow! 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 Beans! Beans! Beans!
Many viewers have pointed out how convenient her tics were caught on camera and how they sound weirdly forced. Soon, many people exposed Emerald after finding old videos of Emerald talking for minutes, sometimes even hours at end without having a single tic. Even though on her TikToks, it shows that she uncontrollably tics every few seconds. Soon, Emerald's sister came out on Reddit to explain how Emerald was faking her Tourette's syndrome, but she was in fact mentally ill. Emerald herself later confessed that she had faked the disorder to spread awareness and to help.
Motherfuckers always gotta cover their ass in some type of way. Oh, I actually faked it because I want to bring awareness. Yeah,
people with Tourette's syndrome. The TikTok account was later deleted, and Emerald addressed the deletion on her yarn business account where she did not tick a single time.
Hey, I was not planning to address this anymore because addressing it has not fixed it. I have not gotten through my tics. I just don't record on days that I have my tics because I was literally bullied off the internet. So I do not do awareness for Tourette's anymore, regardless of the fact that I do have a clinical diagnosis.
But it's because you got caught, though. That's what. Oh, never mind, bro. Corinzio, thank you for the gifted.
So I'm spending
Me
my
when I
time
lie?
on my yarn business.
So that's the story of Ticks and Roses and how she became one of the biggest examples of how people fake their disabilities on TikTok for internet fame. There is another account that I want to mention, at Adopted and Disabled Child. Most of their content revolves around a family adopting and taking care of this supposed disabled child, and for some reason many people took the bait. There are a lot of supportive comments praising the family for taking care of the child as
Don't tell me this is fake.
their previous family couldn't and all that. And it wasn't until TikTok user Neens.com, who at first thought the account was satirical, later did some digging and found out that the supposed disabled child was a 20-year-old soccer player.
Well, to be fair, that does look like a grown-ass man, though. That didn't look like a child. I'm gonna keep it as that.
Who did not have any disabilities at all.
Wow.
Now, of course, why do people fake disabilities on TikTok? Views and attention.
Dude did look like a grown-ass man.
I don't see how this is creepy
Jail
at all.
TikTok.
Jail TikTok refers to prisoners who make TikTok showcasing their daily lives in jail. Some dance the occasional TikTok trend that's going on that
Why do you be giving y'all phones, bro? Like, I need to know what type of sentences they on.
day. Some even showed off like life hacks. The ones I like to watch are the ones where they show you how to cook like prison dishes, like prison ramen and all that. And yeah, these jail TikToks aren't
That nigga have nut on his jaw.
scary or creepy at all. It's just dudes vibing out in jail. Obviously, we don't know what crimes they're being held for unless they tell us. So maybe these prisoners who are doing these little TikTok dances or talking about their lives might be in jail for some really egregious and disturbing crimes. So if prisoners are getting viral on TikTok, how are they getting smartphones into jail? Aren't they banned or something? Well, to answer that second question, yes, they are banned from jail. And to answer the first question, these prisoners have been smuggling in smartphones through a little outside help.
So they snitch on themselves. So they get smartphones and snitch on themselves. Yes, that's smart. That's very intelligent. Probably the most intelligent thing I've seen all day. Very, very smart. So they snitch on themselves on purpose. Wow. Because the police will never see this while I'm in jail. They'll never see a convict in jail recording on TikTok for social media. Like,
these phones could get sneaked in through the mail the prisoners receive. Some people are using the high-end technology of airdropping these smartphones from drones.
airdropping it from drones. That phone is cooked, by the way. You might as well throw that joint in the trash can. Drones? You got open drop top ceilings?
However, the most common way to get smartphones into prison is to just bribe the cafeteria cook or some miserable guard, slip them a 20 and they can get the phone from them.
How you got a 20?
Many prisoners have been making TikToks through these illegally smuggled phones. And at first I thought that wouldn't be a problem, but the prison facility and state governments have otherwise to say. They claim that many prisoners having cell phones could cause a problem because some of them actually use their phones to blackmail people, even sent threats to senators. So this caused a major movement in prison.
I'm not gonna lie, you can tell people in prison aren't the smartest people. Well, obviously, but you can tell people who are in prison are really, 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 like, they brain got sentenced with them, bro, because you were going to threaten a senator on a phone in jail. Not the brightest people in the jail cell, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Prisons to crack down on these illegal phones to try to confiscate them and destroy them. Congress even proposed a bill which allowed state prisons to jam any cell phone signals coming from the prison. Okay, vegan teacher.
Not the vegan
teacher. Katie Diekmeyer, better known as That Vegan Teacher, is an animal rights activist and former teacher who is best known for promoting veganism. She first got super viral on TikTok after she made this little diddle criticizing McDonald's for not being vegan.
3, 2, 1, sing! Eating animals is wrong, McDonald's. Hurting animals is wrong, McDonald's. Share this song and change your entire menu to be vegan from now on.
I think I've said enough about the vegan teacher in the past. Let's just let it play out.
Okay, that's like, nothing too out of the ordinary. Like, I know vegans get a bad rap for being so outspoken about their lifestyle, and people are generally sick and tired of hearing about vegans yelling at people to stop eating animals. To be super honest, I don't think this little song is going to convince this multi-billion-dollar corporation to change like their entire menu that they're known for. And it seems like this sentiment wasn't lost on Vegan Teacher because she really began to start mixing up her content, and that got a lot more people to notice her and criticize her. People would give her because she created content that could be seen as racist and homophobic. For example, she used the phrase "I can't breathe" for a song about killing animals.
Wow. Every time I hear about the vegan teacher, it doesn't matter who's reporting, I always hear some new fucked up shit. I'd never heard that. I don't even think Sunny V2 talked about that part. Wow. Nigga, why the fuck do I give a fuck about your lifestyle and you saying some shit like that? The vegan teacher is a whole, like, she looked like she teach 7th grade science class, bro, to a group of kids who probably yell at her, bro. Like, it's just...
She also stated that
Coming out as a vegan animal rights activist, as somebody who cares beyond themselves, is much more special than it is to come out as a member of the LGBTQ community.
Damn, she's not the brightest vegan in the fucking vegetable farm, huh?
Coming out as a member of the LGBTQ
She just be saying, I'm not gonna lie, some people shouldn't be allowed to talk. She just be saying stuff, bro.
community as an entirely selfish act.
this really began to
What? Okay, yeah, she just be talking. I'm not gonna lie. She just be talking.
stir up the hate train against vegan teacher, but it wasn't until she began attacking certain notable individuals that she really got
Pre-Gordon
thrown at her. For example, she criticized Mr. Beast for donating food to the homeless because it contained animal products. And the biggest beef that vegan teacher had was with Gordon Ramsay, where she made a TikTok calling to Gordon Ramsay to tell him that animals are not food and meat is murder. And of course, that didn't catch the attention of Chef Ramsay, so she began to escalate her TikToks, calling Ramsay the devil and a psycho who couldn't empathize with animals. That really didn't get Ramsay's attention, so she really amped up the stakes by calling him a terrible father, calling him racist, comparing him to Hitler, even made a diss track on him.
I would have sued the fuck out the vegan teacher. I'm not gonna hold you. I would have sued the vegan teacher. Like, I would have sued the fuck out the vegan teacher.
Why is Gordon Ramsay an animal bully when instead of eating meat, he could just eat protein-packed veggies? Why does Gordon Ramsay choose to pay for blood and murder
Why don't you fucking mind your own business, you troglodyte?
when he can just switch
You teach English class to 2 people.
over to vegan mayo and a vegan burger?
So after all these videos attempting to grind Gordon Ramsay's name through the meat grinder, the celebrity chef finally responded to vegan teacher after she made a song about the chef on TikTok.
Eating animals is wrong, Gordon Ramsay. Hurting animals is wrong, Gordon Ramsay. Share this song, and if you call me a donut, that's fine.
Vegan
as long
donut.
as you're vegan from now on.
That burger look good as fuck too.
Vegan donut. That's going around her head rent-free for a little while. And because of that simple response from Gordon Ramsay, she kind of became the laughingstock of the internet for a week or two. And all of this stuff really threw her in for a loop. Later on, she would upload a YouTube video titled, "Are You Racist?" where she wrote a poem about a little girl, and I'm gonna recite this poem. The little girl is generous, intelligent, natural, gorgeous, exemplary, and radiant. Ban cruelty, not words. Aw, it's kind of a cute little poem. It spells out ginger too. Maybe it was for like some...
Oh my god. You said it in the wrong order? Oh my god. Hold on, let me, because I already know what it's gonna say. Hold on, let me.
Redheaded girl or something. Oh!
He blurred it out. He blurred it out.
That's not a redheaded girl.
Is she serious? She's dead ass? Oh my god, bro. She's serious. Wow. And when we have respect for this lady, bro. She is a... Oh my god.
She also made a TikTok about Tommy Innit, who recently got his diamond play button, stating,
Tommy, the nice vegan girls don't want to see your buttons. But if you want them to play with your buttons, you're going to have to show them your fruits and your vegetables.
keep in mind, Tommy was 16 when vegan teacher made that comment. And, you know, many people called her out for being a creepo, but vegan teacher decided to defend herself, claiming that
Tommy Innit fans, what the is the matter with you guys? I saw some.
How does she have 3 comments on a video with 8K likes? She is monitoring them comments like, ooh, I was about to make an Area 51 joke, but I don't want them to come after me. Regardless, bro, does anybody actually like the vegan teacher, bro? Like an actual person, like, unironically like the vegan teacher?
The duets that you guys did to that little 15-second video I did for him. What the are you guys doing? Some of you are crying. Some of you are punching the camera, going fucking crazy. God help the next generation. You guys are fucked up.
Ironic.
Seriously.
Yeah, later on in 2021, she would get IP banned from TikTok for breaching community guidelines, though the exact
TikTok
reason
W.
isn't particularly known. This led to vegan teacher to promise on her
GTA,
YouTube
Mari?
channel that she would not give up on her internet platform. She will keep fighting the meat patriarchy. I love vegetables! And she tried to make more TikTok accounts, but those ended up getting banned as well for ban evasion. If you want to learn more about her, there are plenty of commentary videos about vegan teacher. She still remains active on her YouTube channel, posting videos on meat eaters and making reaction videos to her detractors and whatnot. I tried tipping, he begged me to stay. Babe, I'm not saying I just want to play. In a party, he just want to run. Tony and Andreas Lopez. So these Lopez brothers are...
Girls will really go crazy over, especially Tony. Niggas, well, I mean, girls would really go crazy over these two. And Tony Lopez is a freak, bro. Like, he and EDP are twins.
Are apparently huge TikTokers and are part of this collective called the Hype House,
Hype House,
which according to Wikipedia is a collective of teenage TikTok personalities based in Moore Park, California, as well as the name of the mansion where some of the creators live. They're also being sued by their landlord for destroying the house and not paying their rent. Anyway, besides the point, they just seem like a pair of annoying TikTokers. What could be the problem with them? Oh! They pulled an EDP. According to TMZ,
you know it's really bad. EDP life is really ruined, bro, because everybody refers to that as pulling an EDP. Like, EDP's life is really ruined. You know, when people start referring to you as a definition, bro, you're done.
Tony Lopez has been sued for the of 2 15-year-old girls,
Freak, bro.
And along with gender violence. What the f? Tony Lopez had been accused of using social media to groom and exploit these 2 underage girls, the details of which have been included in this incriminating lawsuit. And they also alleged that he leaked explicit photos of himself to underage girls. Along with this lawsuit train, he's also gotten criticism for making controversial tweets in the past, which have been deemed sexist, homophobic, and racist. Of course, this leads to Tony making a fake-ass apology live stream on Insta.
Just want to come on here and, as a young man, take accountability and responsibility for my actions and
take your accountability all the way to the fucking Los Angeles Police Department. Like,
I have to understand this and learn from it, grow from it, and I'm just gonna hold myself accountable and responsible for some past immature decisions.
Oh, boo-hoo, I have to face the consequences of my actions. I will grow and learn to be a better... Knowing not to groom kids is not a learning experience. Everyone knows that if you inappropriately touch kids, it's wrong. You should have known that it's wrong. You're just saying you're sorry because you got caught. Even after all these apologies, Tony still denied all the allegations and said that, oh, I will fight till the very end. And there was also this moment where Tony Lopez made a TikTok and the sound he used was titled Tony Lopez Likes Minors.
why would he post something with a sound that this dude is very, very, very good. This is very ironic.
Which led to users commenting on how he admits to his crimes and are owning up to it, and it's, you know, a little goof gaff, whatever. Let's not forget about his
oh, they can change the sound names after. Oh wow. Well, GG's.
Brother, Andreas, who was brutally exposed for having a relationship with a 14-year-old girl right after his brother got sued.
She's 14. And you are how old?
23. 23-year-old man, basically 10 years older than her. Sick, very sick activity going on in the Hype House.
You know what can happen to you?
I do.
You can end up in jail.
You heard that right. That's a 9-year age gap. And it's caused more evidence to be posted online about Andreas' predatory behavior, including a document from his attorney, which accused him of doing the dirty with the 14-year-old. Quick.
Please give, bro. Why are these people not in jail? Oh wait, they're rich. Yeah, why are these people not in jail, though? I'm not gonna lie. When you look like Tony and Andres Lopez, you can get away with anything, bro. Because what the hell?
Correction on the Andreas case. So apparently the accuser decided to drop the claim 6 months after they made that video. They stated they had a conversation with the Lopez brothers and that the entire thing was a misunderstanding.
Does anybody in chat believe that?
Personally, I don't, and many people don't believe these facts. Many people think the Lopez brothers
bribe.
gave them some hush money so they don't like sue them and everything. Look, I don't know what the is going on with this family, with these pair of brothers. I don't want to talk about them anymore because my blood pressure is going to keep rising. I'm going to get a heart attack. I hope these two brothers get into jail. Hope their victims get justice. People falling head over heels over criminals has been a phenomenon since like forever.
When that Jeffrey Dahmer little doc was coming out, the amount of women who were, oh my god, like he's so attractive, like oh my god, like something about hear me out, oh my god, you're sick, like ooh, I can't say that, hospital now.
In history, Ted Bundy got married in death row. The Night Stalker had fans who.
And why do y'all find these people attractive? This dude looked like the gray gargoyle. This dude looked like a X-Men. The fuck is wrong with y'all niggas?
Would send him letters and gifts. Charles Manson had his cult to hype him up in prison. Now, the most recent occurrence of this on TikTok would be the Jeffrey Dahmer Netflix series that was getting popular. And that just caused the mass exodus of TikToks making thirst traps and fan edits of Dahmer on the show. And it is pretty ironic because when the actual Dahmer was imprisoned, many women sent him gifts and money, even though he was a gay man. Also, dude murdered and ate people, everyone! And to keep on with this history theme, there are plenty of young teens who are obsessed with the Columbine They called themselves the Columbiners and would cosplay as Eric and Dylan, even wrote fan fiction of the pair. For an example,
yeah, we're cooked. As a generation, we're cooked. We are cooked, bro. I shouldn't even have to explain it like that. We're cooked. I've never heard of that. We're cooked. As a society, we're cooked. Yeah, we're cooked. I can't even say no words. We're cooked. We're just done.
Example of a killer that was simped over on TikTok. I'm gonna talk about Cameron Herron. He was sentenced to 24 years in prison after he ran over a mother and daughter during an illegal street race. After his story was found out online.
And this is why I hate y'all motherfuckers. There's the chat. I'm not gonna lie to you. The type of motherfuckers I hate the most in this world are motherfuckers who drive fast and swerve for no reason. I seen a motherfucker do it on Twitter the other day. I hate them type of niggas so much, bro. Oh, your car just don't go that fast. Oh, you just can't afford my car. Like literally putting people in danger just so they can go fast. Just so they can go to like the McDonald's down the street. They don't even got nowhere to be, bro. They just run it going fast to go fast. I hate all motherfuckers like that. And not in GTA. Like dead serious. Like if you drive like that, just and swerving in and out of traffic going like 120, you are a dead ass loser. And don't talk that money shit, nigga. Don't talk that shit, nigga. Come on, bro.
Many TikTokers began to protest his sentencing, claiming that, oh, you know, he wasn't racing or anything, and that, oh, he didn't, you know, run over and destroy the family. And of course, Herron got his fair share of fan edits calling him cute, hot, sexy, whatnot. I mean, I don't get the vibe with this guy. Dude's got the biggest blue eye posture I've ever seen. Like, he's just staring into my soul right now. So why do people have this sort of attraction to these kind of people? Many psychologists speculate that people who tend to have a sort of sexual attraction to criminals often have low self-esteem or a lack of father figure.
Let any of my friends or anybody I associate with tell me that he found a serial killer attractive, or he's kind of cute. Like let somebody. I will not be friends with that person, bro. What's wrong? You got to really think about what's going on in your life to find a serial killer attractive. There has to be something bad going on in your life. A therapy session is definitely needed, for sure.
Believe they can, you know, they can fix him. I can fix him.
Okay, Chris McLean is actually ridiculous, though. I'm not gonna lie. That's probably the worst one.
hope to get some their 5 minutes of fame. Maybe they get a book deal or a movie deal like that.
Mari, do it.
And some like it because they have the notions of the perfect boyfriend. They're always in jail. They're always where you expect them to be. They can't flirt with any other girls because there are literally no other girls they can flirt with. Some even said these murderers are like alpha males and like women loves a man who can rip and tear and eat people apart because, you know, they can protect their families and whatnot. It's just stupid. Hola Ninos. I moved this entry from layer 5 all the way up to here because I'm gonna be honest, I think this dude is hilarious. Hola Ninos refers to TikToker Maxi Miller, whose entire shtick is that
this dude look like a ghoul.
He has this creepy ass face.
Oh yeah.
And would do stuff like this.
Hola, niños.
I'm not gonna. I be dead ass terrified, bro. Like this dude is. I'm not gonna hold you. If this dude is chasing me in the sewer, bro, me and Miles in the sewer, bro, I'm not gonna lie. We just gotta jump, bro. I'm sorry. We just gotta jump him. We just have to jump him at that point, bro. Bro is actually terrifying. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yo, okay, y'all wild in the chat. I'm not gonna hold you. I would be petrified. Why am I laughing, bro? I remember this. I used to watch these years ago. Are you serious? Nah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. We would have to put bro down in GTA.
That's it. That's all he does, and I don't know why. I think it's super.
Yo, bro literally looks like Quasimodo, bro. It's not even funny.
He's also a very popular choice for void memes. Those memes where they take a clip and then they like heavily distort it. They put like eerie music or loud sounds, and they make the person look like a hideous monster. And I guess for some people, it does look a little terrifying, but I don't know. I just think he's pretty funny, and like his face is a little goofy, and that's all. I mean, if he were chasing me and started screaming like that, I would be f***ing running too, okay? I'd be screaming my ass off, maybe a little, come a little in my pants too, I don't know. So there are TikToks that are supposedly from Cartel members that are flexing their nice flashy cars and big mansions that their cartel lifestyle afforded them. And if it isn't obvious enough, this is a tactic that the cartel is using to recruit young impressionable kids into joining them. And I probably don't need to explain the dangers of getting involved with the cartel. Super dangerous move, by the way. And along with this, there are plenty of TikToks of cartel members getting to shoot us with the Mexican police or military. I won't show you guys the clips for obvious reasons. I guess this tactic is working because there have been reports of US teenagers attempting to join these cartels.
What's really be wrong with y'all, bro? Don't try to go over there, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. If you get recruited, bro, do you know how you have to get recruited? Some of them recruitments is crazy, bro. You don't want no smoke. Y'all not surviving recruitment. Stay your ass home, bro. Watch Edda and Eddie.
Groups. And what they would do is they get these newbies to smuggle some illegal drugs into the United States as some sort of initiation stage to prove that they really wanted to join the cartel. Of course, this doesn't shine a good light on TikTok for allowing criminals to recruit young kids to help with the cocaína battle bus. So a TikTok spokeswoman said that the company was, quote, committed to working with law enforcement to combat organized criminal activity, and that they would remove any content and accounts that promote illegal activity. And this did cause most cartel videos on TikTok to be removed from the platform. Okay, this trend is not exclusive to TikTok, but there have been plenty of people faking animal rescues for, of course, views and attention. I remember this being a huge phenomenon on YouTube where channels, mostly from Southeast Asia, would film themselves rescuing cats and dogs. And the f***ed up thing is that these channels would intentionally harm animals off camera.
Oh, I was just thinking they just got a regular dog and they just acted like they were harming animals just to save the animals that they harmed in GTA. That's horrible. That's terrible.
Bro, so when they're ready to film their video, they like wrap up their little boo-boo so it looks like they're, you know, good people. Some of these videos don't even put in the effort to make it look legit. Here's this example of some guy supposedly finding a dog, and I'm sure you can see why this is fake as hell.
Oh, I can't.
And you know what? This audience...
that just almost brought a tear to my eye. I don't want to ever hear that audio ever again.
eats it up like it's gourmet, praising these guys for being heroes and, oh, thank you for saving the animals. Like, these guys are literally Titan from Megamind, pretending to be the hero because they want views and attention. And other fake animal rescues on TikTok do really messed up things, like putting snakes and puppies together so that the snake could like wrap around the puppy. But oh, thank the Lord, these bozos in flip-flops conveniently recording themselves on their iPhones come in to unwrap the snake from the puppy and rescue it from harm's way. In May 2021, TikTok user 627 captured footage of a woman wandering around Seattle, and she's in pretty bad shape, torn clothes, ripped hair, and was constantly screaming. Soon police would approach the woman to see what was going on, but the video then cuts off. And
5 seconds, nose off.
And this clip went viral on TikTok before TikTok took it down for seemingly unknown reasons. I guess they thought the appearance of the woman looked a little too disturbing for audiences. I don't know. So the millions of people who watched this TikTok came up with some theories on who she is and why she got into this situation. Many believe the zombie woman was a domestic violence victim or was a human trafficking victim that had escaped her tormentors. Some just straight up thought she was a zombie. Others believe she was on drugs, specifically synthetic cathinoids, better known as bath salts.
Must be Florida.
And this theory became popular because there was this infamous news story about a Florida man who attacked a homeless man and bit off most of his face. And many believe this Miami zombie was on—
I've never seen anybody take bath salts in GTA that has not been in Florida. It's just for Florida. Bath salts is a Florida exclusive.
Bath salts. However, toxicologists only identified small traces of marijuana in the Florida man's system. I remember my mom telling me this story while eating a hometown buffet. Great dinner convo, Mom. Anyways, 627 later provided an update on the woman on her TikTok.
So I wanted to give a quick update for anyone who saw the original video I posted of the woman who was screaming in distress outside my window. I wanted folks to know that the police did come and that care was administered to her. She was taken to a local hospital, but I have no further updates about what happened with her beyond that. Living in a city like Seattle, it is not uncommon for people to not have the resources to properly care for their mental health, their housing, for their addiction. And so unfortunately, it's not abnormal to hear someone screaming like that in the middle of the day.
So do we really know what was wrong with that woman and why she was acting that way? Yes, we do know what happened to the zombie woman. What happened? And it turns out it's fake. I'm sure most—
I was thinking it's fake. I was really surprised when this woman was just like, oh, she's actually a person. I was like, damn, this is real? Like, damn, how'd she end up like this? Okay, this makes more sense.
People found out from the Nick Crowley video that he made about the zombie woman, but some body cam footage from the police officers that found her was released, and it turns out the woman was in like makeup and was faking this entire thing.
Why? Y'all have too much time on your hands, bro. Like, find a hobby, start drawing, play the piano, bro. Pick up a trade or something, bro. Why we got so much time on our hands?
She was still screaming hella, so what was going on? Well, it turns out some people did some digging, and apparently this woman is some artist online who did this performance art, quote unquote, to protest the COVID vaccine.
What? Where's the correlation? Yo, I like, protest what you want to in this life, but where was the correlation that it makes you turn into a zombie in GTA? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, is that what the protest was supposed to— I mean, that's what that was supposed to be? Jesus Christ, bro. You couldn't— I don't know.
Scene. Great.
I piss and poo, but mostly pee. I piss and poo. I piss and poo.
Hashtag crime is a popular hashtag on TikTok, which covers a variety of content such as explanation videos, court trial footage like JCS, and
I love JCS.
If you look deep enough, you'd actually find people filming themselves committing crimes because they're stupid. I've occasionally stumbled upon this hashtag through my For You page, and some of the most popular TikToks I've seen from this hashtag includes those slideshows with like images of the victim or from the crime scene with the lengthy caption explaining the case. You know, it's super sad and super sentimental. And this hashtag is wildly popular. It has 21.7 billion—
I ain't gonna lie, y'all know I do love me some true crime. You know what I'm saying? So
views as of writing. And of course, any content revolving around true crime has been popular in popular culture for the longest time, and it's no surprise that it remains true on TikTok as well. Okay, William Durga is one, a bozo, and two, a wanted criminal. He became viral on TikTok after he taunted the police to come find him, dancing in front of his wanted post writing, "Come and get me."
You know what? People who use TikTok, including me, are not the brightest sometimes, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think this dude really thought this through. I'm not gonna lose you.
And it got viral. 3.4 million views viral. LaGrange police posted on
TikTok's an asshole. Out of everything to blow up, bro. Imagine if bro was shadow banned. If he was shadow banned, he would have been caught. TikTok, come on, man. Why ain't you shadow ban him? You shadow ban everybody else, but you ain't shadow ban him. You gonna give him 3 million views? He ain't need that. He would have been out if you shadow banned him. That's tough.
Their Facebook about how Durga was involved with an undercover drug operation that was occurring at a pub he happened to be at. It was unclear whether or not Durga was an employee or just a customer. And during the run from the police, Durga actually did a couple of interviews with media outlets, and he claims that he wasn't actively dodging the feds because they just never showed up at his house. Of course, it's not known if he was telling the truth or not because he is a wanted criminal. Oh, did I say wanted? He ain't wanted no more, yeah! Damn. Days after Durga's TikTok went viral, police basically went, okay, bet. Then the police would raid his house, arrest Durga, and update their Facebook page, mentioning that if it wasn't for their viral TikTok, many people would not have sent so many tips and information to the police leading to his arrest.
On himself for
I
no
mean, he
reason.
talked and got hit. What did he honestly expect? Zachary Latham was someone who really wanted to be TikTok famous.
This is the one dude who killed his neighbor in GTA.
Quickly. So he decides the best and most effective way to become TikTok famous is to murder someone. Yeah, you heard that right. I'm low-key not surprised that this is an occurrence, but you know, I just thought that this would have happened sooner than later. Not that I want people to murder each other for TikTok fame, I'm just saying. Anyway, so the problem with Latham began when he moved into Vineland, New Jersey, and met with his neighbor, William Durham, who was an off-duty state's correction officer.
Man.
Durham would scold Latham for his reckless driving, which
Latham... reckless driving. If you drive reckless like this motherfucker is, you probably an asshole. I'm not going. There might be a tie. There is definitely a link between reckless drivers and being an asshole. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like that.
Would then apologize. However, that didn't really matter in the future because the two would continue to feud. A few years later, Latham would post a TikTok where he confronted Durham's wife, calling her a Karen. And it went super viral. Many people were siding with Latham and were leaving comments to do things towards Durham's wife, including slashing her tires or to just go after her. Okay then. Things start to escalate after another incident between Latham and the Durhams happened, where Latham allegedly swerved his truck into one of the Durham's sons who was riding a bike at the time.
What the? Oh yeah, this dude is, bro. I'm telling y'all, bro. The worst thing you could see is a motherfucker with a high ego from a privileged community. It's the worst combination ever, bro.
This led to the entire Durham family to confront Latham and his wife. Dude was married at 18 years old. Anyways, the family confronted Latham and his wife at their home. This caused Latham to wield a 4-inch knife and a taser, even though the Durhams weren't even armed. Latham would then fire the taser and swing the knife at one of the Durham's sons, and this altercation would then head towards Latham's garage, where he would then fatally stab William Durham in the torso, puncturing his lung. Police soon arrived, pronounced William deceased, and then arrested Latham. And the strangest thing is that the police let Latham out on jail while awaiting trial. What?
Because he's white, bro. That's the only reason, bro. Oh my god, bro. I swear, if you rich and you just get anything, bro. What kind of privileges is this?
What? Latham then moved to Florida, which
that's not good hiding spots.
He would later get arrested because he threatened a motorist with a pellet gun that resembled an assault rifle.
I really feel like dudes like this should get life.
Also, ew, what the hell?
That nigga look like Slim Jesus. Fuck. Oh shit.
Who knows? Ugg Henry is a TikTok user who made a video where they used the app Randonautica. It's basically an app where it would generate random coordinates in your local area, and you would go to those coordinates to see what you find. You know, it's like a...
Nigga. Are y'all that bored with y'all life that y'all gotta find that? Like, are y'all serious? You have to be a certain, like a different level of bored in your life. Like, you must have no purpose in life doing shit like that. You have to have no purpose in life if you're doing shit like that.
It's like an impromptu scavenger hunt, you know what I mean? So Ugg Henry got a friend to go explore these random coordinates they got from the app, and they stumbled upon this black suitcase in Seattle Beach. And with overwhelming curiosity...
Right, didn't you watch a video on random coordinates? I think it might have been like that Google, like the Google Maps one, or random coordinates. Like, I think it might have been like a Morbid video or something. There was a Tub made a video like that too, so it depends.
They opened the black suitcase, and they mentioned how the smell was overwhelming. Now, inside the suitcase, there were a bunch of black trash bags, and that combined with the smell made them very nervous, and they decided to call the police to investigate. And what they found, oh boy, it's... Yeah, this caused an investigation to begin, which led to another bag of to be found in the water, and this entire ordeal has basically traumatized Henry, and the detectives are still...
I'll be traumatized too, bro. That's why I just stay my ass in the house. I go to class. I'm cool, bro. I stay my... I don't want to go. I don't want to go walk everywhere, bro.
Continuing to investigate about where these came from and who the suspect is. This also ties in with other creators who have used the app Randonautica to go to these random coordinates and find really weird and creepy stuff. Thankfully, the suspect was later found and arrested. Animal cruelty. Again, this is a very...
I'm gonna skip this one just to be safe, because y'all told me that it might be tossed, so I'm gonna skip it just in case.
Missing TikTokers. So one of the most notable cases of missing people on TikTok would be Cassie Compton. On September 14th, 2014, 15-year-old Cassie Compton will be last heard from anyone. She was attending the Arkansas County Demolition Derby with a friend in DeWitt. Her friend realized Cassie was gone after returning home that night before.
Damn.
After unsuccessful calls to Cassie's phone, the friend Judy contacted authorities. Since then, numerous physical searches have been conducted, and the authorities have followed up on countless leads. Unfortunately, the police and Cassie's family were unable to figure out her whereabouts. Now, this ties back into TikTok.
African American streamer Blue Rod goes missing after he says he was going to go link up with his homeboy Miles.
Because on January 2021, a TikTok would go viral of this woman sitting in the back of a car with two black guys just staring at the camera blankly. And many believe this was in fact Cassie Compton as they compared the two likenesses. Well, it turns out it wasn't Cassie Compton after all, because this woman is actually Haley Grace Phillips, who has been reported missing from her family, and many people reached out to Phillips to, make sure she's all right and everything. This led her to live stream on her Instagram explaining that she isn't Cassie Compton, and the two black guys were from when she was robbed and jumped by two women. The people in her car were actually her friends.
Wait, what? What? Okay, I'm not even gonna try to understand what I just heard.
Trying to find the two women that robbed her. So Phillips explained that although her family had reported her as missing, she actually left home on her free will after she had a violent altercation with her father. Of course, she could be manipulated by her kidnappers to lie on the internet, and that Phillips could be in danger. Unfortunately, we may never know because all of her social media got deleted and she hasn't returned since. Now, another example of a missing TikToker would be Andrew Dawson. On April 10th, 2022, Dawson would upload a TikTok of himself filming a mountain in Canada where he would spot what seems to be a giant person standing on top of it. So this sparked his interest, and he just began to go giant hunting, scouring the area in an attempt to find answers on what he saw on top of that mountain. And apparently he was being stopped by CIA agents and the Canadian CSIS agents who told him that he was trespassing on government property, even though Dawson argued that it's a public park. He later posted TikToks of himself getting stalked by these CIA agents and talked about how he was scared of just mysteriously disappearing one day. His last post on TikTok would be on May 17th, 2022.
Damn, y'all think the CIA got him? Probably trying to save his life. Y'all think the CIA got him?
And Dawson would cease any social media activity afterwards. His disappearance caused a huge stir on the internet, with some claiming that the CIA did in fact make him disappear and that the government was covering up like aliens and However, there were some that called to question the legitimacy of this giant. When the story was posted on r/OutOfTheLoop, Reddit user
Think about Reddit, they're gonna figure it out. They got all the time in the world in Reddit on 4chan.
Drifter stated that, quote, the giant in the video is actually a tower. However, this post has reached its end after Dawson's obituary was posted on the Campbell River Mirror.
RIP.
The obituary states that Dawson had passed away on July 1st, 2022 at 34 years old. Now, of course, that caused a huge stir on the internet because, you know, he did in fact disappear. And like the fact there was no cause of death, he had a whole family, he had a wife and kids that he just left behind. So this obituary was very suspicious. However, I couldn't find any other information because I guess people just stopped investigating afterwards.
Good video, bro. Yeah, TikTok, there's a lot of creepy stuff on TikTok and a lot of unknown stuff on TikTok. The shit might get banned this year, so who knows. But as much as all this creepy stuff be on TikTok, we be focused on the wrong thing, bro. TikTok enforcing all these guidelines and everything else and blase, but don't let Blue ride. My bad. I'm not gonna talk about it. But TikTok, tighten up, bro. Tighten up. Good video. Plugs. I'm gonna touch those, so don't touch that. IBBG. Alright.
Bitch back like I'm double heaven. Hold up, triple deuces. Hold that bitch up, we got all the juices. Hold up, speak to heaven. Eat that by my mama, demon minute. Me body chill, at least I won't buy. No, my diamond